Hello, everyone. Welcome to LexTalk, World's talk show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today, we have Dr. Jayesh Gaurav with us. Dr. Gaurav is a practicing advocate of the Supreme Court of India. With close to 2 decades of experience, he has a dynamic career with a rare combination of educational background of law and software engineering. That's quite rare, actually. Addition to that, there is management and doctorate in cyber law as well. To his credit, there are a lot of things, but there are approaching 300 reported landmark cases conducted by him. There are a lot of things that we can learn and understand about the judicial system of India and other things around the international legal industry. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Dr. Gaurav. Welcome to the show, and how are you doing, sir?
Thank you for welcoming me. I'm so grateful that I'm here today to talk with you. I'm really
This is all
doing
us, sir.
awesome, and I'm looking forward to have a cordial conversation today.
Pleasure's all ours, sir. Thank you very much for getting some time out for the session. So, without further ado, I try my level best to cover things about you, but let's try to make this conversation interesting from the very first question. So, I would like to just throw my first question, which is if you can tell us about a complex legal issue you worked upon recently and describe the complexity around it and tell us how you really approached it.
As you have already mentioned that almost it has been 2 decades that I have been in Supreme Court, and it has been a wonderful journey, and I have been part of almost all the leading cases that has been going on in uh, today's time in Supreme Court, starting from Aadhaar cases or 2G case or the case which related to the acid attack on girl females or use of red lights by the VIPs. Even for you talk about animals, then I have worked for rights of animals in slaughterhouses and also for tiger reserves. So it, if you talk about air, then I have been a part of pollution cases where we have worked on Delhi pollution case, how to control and reduce the pollution here in Delhi. Then so many variety of cases that we have been doing, like cleaning of rivers in our country. So there it has been wonderful experience altogether. So, as far as handling these cases are concerned, each case has its own merits, and we have to conduct the case according to the requirement of the case. So, if you talk about one specific case, I would like to talk about the acid attack case, in which prior to this Lakshmi's case, there was no rules or regulation formulated by the legislators or any law governing on these acid attack victims. So it was the first case before the Honorable Supreme Court where the Supreme Court was deciding how to tackle with situations where the girl child has been a victim of acid attacks. Generally, we see that there were there was no remedy to it. The people have been running from one place to another and seeking help for treatment and all, and people, even the hospitals were not admitting them, uh, treating as a criminal case and all. Now there has been a law let down by the Honorable Supreme Court that every treatment, smallest bit of expense, whatever be there in the acid attack case, has to be taken care of by the government. And there is a provision now for compensation and all to the victim. You will remember that there was a movie which was picturized on the same lady, the Chapak movie that was released last year. It was based on this only, and I'm thankful to God that I got an opportunity to be part of that case. So each case has a different type of research that you need to do, you need to go through, and then come up with new ideas so that you can get relief for your client.
I mean, that's really wonderful. So I understand that it is more of a value creation part in your profile that adds to everything that you are into. Correct me if I'm wrong, that we already have rules and regulations when it comes to buying asset from the local stores or the vendors.
Yes,
Uh,
Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right. There are
that happened
you
after Lakshmi or before it was
that
there?
happens in the Lakshmi's case only, that the guidelines have been formulated by the Honorable Supreme Court that no vendors can now sell acid without having a proper license. And if you are supplying acid now you have to clarify for what use you have been giving that acid to somebody. So basically, now there has been proper law let down by Honorable Supreme Court in the Lakshmi's case, where every smallest bit has been taken care of by the Supreme Court, and now nobody can actually take advantage of any such thing and harass anybody for like that of acid or whatever you say. So now the law is at place. Now the things have been there, guidelines being there. Now you can think of a right perspective that can prevail in society.
So that's very helpful, Mr. Gaurav, Dr. Gaurav. I'm really sorry. We have, I mean, you have been part of a lot of interesting cases that we can keep on talking about, like the air pollution case, or the air pollution dispute in Delhi that is happening. Uh, can we throw some light on this? I mean, in terms of what is actually going on, what's the exact reasons for the pollution in Delhi? Because we hear a lot of debate around it, but
Basically,
we don't know what it
basically
is.
when we filed this case, there was a suggestion by the government that these pollution is not because of anything which is happening in Delhi. This is only because of the parali which is being burned outside Delhi in the nearby states of Rajasthan and Haryana. But if you will see today, even today, today is 13th of January 2023, and parali is over by October. So even today, the index of the AQI is on a severe side. So definitely, the parali was not only the reason. So we did suggest to the court that the stand of the government that only because of the parali this is happening is totally incorrect. The basic thing that we need to take care of is there are vehicles which are polluting, there are industries which are polluting, there are burnings of various wastes which is happening around us, which is creating problem. There are various other reason apart from this which is there, due to sand, due to wind. At times there are sand winds are there, so you need to clean the roads also. You need to do various things that you need to take care to control pollution. Now, as of now, last time we suggested for controlling the pollution that odd even system for vehicles to reduce pollution. Then we closed down the schools and colleges so that online classes should be there. Children and the people don't travel, and so that the pollution should be less. Apart from there are various things that need to be taken care of, like public transport system has to be in place. There are things, if government is not doing and only playing the blame game, that is not going to basically improve the quality of air. We suggested for like vertical gardens. Now you see vertical gardens around Delhi. So these all were the efforts that we suggested the court, and the court has passed in direction for these things. And definitely the situation is improving day by day. And I am hopeful with towers of pollution control being in place, the things will improve further.
And let's keep our fingers crossed. We hear something like this every year, but let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Um, if I can go a bit in our past and talk about pandemic, and let's relate it to the current situation. So we also in the pandemic time, some courts begin moving towards more remote proceedings and availability. Uh, is this sustainable? That's a question, or a possible way to increase access to justice. But is the remote proceeding still going on? Is it still that helpful?
see, basically, yes, during pandemic we did saw that uh, things were remotely being done. But as far as if you consider small petty cases being tried by a small clients at some place in either in High Court or Supreme Court, like 198 cases, 138 cases of NI Act, or small bail cases, then I can understand it is remotely. It is possible. But suppose you have a huge um, civil matters where the litigation, the quantum of documents are huge. The reference has to be taken from the maps, the deeds, then the documents which is available on record. Then it is very pretty much difficult to do everything remotely. Therefore, my view is, as far as small petty matters are concerned, this remote system should carry on, so that the small litigants where small petty cases are there should not be troubled to go to courts. They can attend their proceeding right from their place and get whatever justice they can. But as far as moving to remote system for really pretty high stake matters, it will be really tough to do that. Further, if the proceedings are at a lower court where you have to examine witnesses and to record various other things as per the witness stating there in court before the judge standing on the dock. Now, that will be pretty difficult for a trial judge to conduct trial by remote proceedings. So, in my view, the proceedings which are there, that should go for pretty small cases. Otherwise, it is not very much workable in that case.
That completely makes sense. I mean, this was the question that I even asked in the pandemic times, that how the big cases are being handled. I mean, I guess there are a lot of manipulations that can happen. However, there's another side of the coin which you also showed. So, a very politically correct answer. My next question to this is, I mean, I would like to just exploit the access justice question. How would you rate, based on your experience, how would you rate the current legal system's drive towards encouraging access to justice? Is there a gap? And if there is there a tangible movement in terms of closing that justice gap?
See, basically, earlier we used to say that the legal system is only for the rich. But now, once the National Legal Service Authority Act is there, which stipulates for formation of legal services committee in the state, and legal services authorities in every state, and legal services committee in districts of each state, which provides for free legal aid to all litigants. Suppose anybody who is not able to contest his case, they can approach to these authorities or the committees directly and can seek their help for engaging lawyers and conducting their case. I should must mention it that these lawyers are engaged by the committee and the authority, which are free of cost. The litigant don't have to pay anything to the lawyers, and that part is taken care of by the state government. So these things are there in place now. Apart from that, there have been various mechanism we are working on, like alternate dispute resolution system, arbitration, conciliation. There are various things that are happening now. So I do think that the gap is increasing. That is not that gap which has increased earlier, that is not increasing now, and that has been decreasing day by day. But the thing is, yes, the gap does exist. And if you are resourceful at any point of time, anywhere, leave about India, anywhere in world, the system works differently for you, and for the poor, definitely the system works differently. But once you talk about legal system in India, legal system of India is the cheapest legal system, where you have the least cost that you have to incur. If you compare the litigation in US or UK, then the legal expense which you incur in litigating here in India is lesser than any other place. So that gap, I should not say there is a much gap, but yes, because in India we have a huge population, and to cater everything to each and every people is really little difficult. But yes, we have been trying towards it. Government have been trying, and definitely we'll see some changes in days to come.
Right. for that as well. I mean, as you said, in states, there was a statement that I heard from a lawyer that people sue each other a lot in states, and the cost is also too high. I mean, it's like they get offended on behalf of someone else. So
Correct.
that was a joke that he was trying to crack. I mean, yes, very like we said, in access to justice, access to judicial system, and access to internet is cheapest in India.
Hmm.
So these two things, I guess, will evolve in the coming future. Well,
Yeah.
talking about internet, we cannot leave technology behind. And ironically, pandemic worked as a catalyst in terms of bringing the era of legal technology finally to our country in a scale that we are seeing it now. So my question is, in this era of legal technology, so what are the most commonly used tools for you to ease the task?
See, I remember when we started this, I started my profession. The entire legal drafting and all used to be on the typewriters, and people used to type one page. Then it was shown to the client. Then the client used to do some correction, and again, the entire page was to be typed. There was a maximum that the technology we had of a whitener, where we used to put a whitener if a small mistakes were done. Then obviously, with lapse of time, introduction of computers and internet, the things have been changing. Now in the word MS Office Word, you can do whatever you like, and corrections can be done at any time without having much cost. But I do think, as of now, even after, if you go back last 10 years back, in the legal profession, the computer and the technology would not have been of that much help. But now these technology have been has been used in this profession also, and now we are using various type of tools like operating systems also. Now we have various legal tools, softwares available in market, where you can draft the legal petition with a click of a mouse. Then you can always search. I know when we used to get a new briefs at the earlier time, then we had to do research work for 2 or 3 days. Then we have to read their various textbooks, digest, then search out for the legal provision, then the latest cases are prevailing at that time. Now you get everything at a click of a mouse. You have a reference. You just find out a case laws by clicking a mouse. So there are various softwares that we are using now in our office, apart from high quality digital mechanism like what you say about internet, computers, scanners, printers, that we have been using at our place, apart from legal softwares for drafting, and also for doing research. We have and now SSC Online, Manupatra, and indianqanun.org, which is a very open source which have people have been using. Apart from that, if you are a practitioner of Supreme Court, you are privileged, because in fact the Supreme Court site also provides for all the judgment the Supreme Court has passed from 1950 onwards, that is available on the Supreme Court site. So you have also the benefit of entire judgment that you earlier used to have in volumes of books at your office. Now you can get it from a click of mouse from various websites available in the market. So definitely technology is helping us, and we are using the technology these days.
That's exactly right. I mean, and there's a saying that technology is good only when it works. I guess it's working now for us, and it's good news for you as a practicing lawyer and for us as well. This has been a great session, Dr. Gaurav. We have had discussions almost about a lot of things, try to sort of penetrate into some very sensitive topics like justice gap and few cases that you've been working on. My last question, which I guess is always very important, and this also refers to the young lawyers who are trying to make big in the industry. Time management. Time is money in any profession, and in legal, it's most of all. How do you ensure to make the best of your time as a lawyer, and how do you also ensure to make time for your personal life as well, being a lawyer? Because I understand that every time it's in your head. How do you do that?
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's correct that for everybody, not for law, but for everybody, time is the essence of everybody's life. And once you can, I do hear people saying, I don't have time. But I say for everybody, it's 24 hours for everybody. So once what you need to do is to learn how to manage your time. So basically, in our office, once we have briefs being handed to us, we have a team of people working for us. So we distribute the work of the same file in order to reduce the time of getting output for the client. So once you do in a way that you can manage your time, any work which you propose to do by managing time, then obviously the outcome will be at the fastest pace and most effective way. As far as you said, how do what I should suggest for the young lawyers to who are coming up in this industry to manage time and all, I see when the young lawyers joining this profession now, they are very restless in terms of money that they are thinking of, because legal profession where you actually required to have patience, and they should know that if you are in legal profession, you need to know how to manage time. And and first and foremost thing, if you want to build your career in legal side, then you have to be patient enough to reap the fruits of this profession.
I mean, yes. I mean, I don't remember how to translate what I have in my mind, but that's like if you wait for something, I mean, the fruit is even tastier or even sweeter. So just
Yeah,
give it more time. That's really wonderful, Dr. Gaurav. And it has been our pleasure having you on board every time, not in just an interview, but in our conference. You have added a lot of value always to us as an organization, and I hope we also did that. So thank you very much for again sharing such great insights with us. And as always, we look forward to having a great chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international legal industry. Thank you very much, Dr. Gaurav.
thank you so much, thank you so much.
And for our viewers, if you like this chat, I want you to like this video, to share this video, and click on that red button to subscribe to Click of Victory's YouTube channel and to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming in from legal industry leaders like Dr. Jayesh Gaurav. This was Sagar for Let's Talk World signing off.